Hey everyone, and welcome back. Let's create the equipment system that we'll be using for when for example, we want to start the game with some equipment, let's say a sword or something. And we're also going to set up the functionality so that when you have an item within your inventory, we can right click and get the option to equip or unequip that item, or also simply use it. I'm going to open up my inventory components, and I will browse in the function section, and I'm going to duplicate the create inventory slots function. I'm going to rename this to be create equipment slots. I'll create a new variable of type integer, and this will be called equipment size. So this will be the amount of slots, equipment slots that we will have. Integer. I'll place this in the public category as well. And I'll set the slider range from 0 to 4. So we'll have 4 equipment slots total. Alright, so now we can drag and add as many as we like. So within this function, I'll replace the variable, but this time I'll delete this -1 and connect it directly to the last index. And for the first index, I'll just give it a value of 1. Everything else can stay the exact same. The only difference is the inventory slots variable. I'll duplicate this and I'll rename this to be equipment slots. I'll drag it onto this to replace it, and that's that. Off of the completed pin, I'll add a return node. So after all of the equipment slots were added, I want to return out of this function successfully. Set a value to be true, and that's that. I'll then close this function and call it on the event begin play. And if the equipment slots was added successfully, we can proceed. And we can then do like some equip the item based on the starting items. If you don't have any, then don't do anything at all. So let's do the starting items now. I'll call this function equip desired starting items. We'll create a new variable called starting items. So this is the equipment that you want to start with within your inventory. This will be of type PDA item settings, and I'm going to make this an array. Next, I want to get this into the graph and check if it's not empty. So only if we inserted something into this array, then can we proceed with this function. Next, let's do a for each loop through the starting equipment array. I'm going to call another function, which is to add the item to the inventory when the game starts. Let's drag in this function right now, connect it to your loop body, and we'll add an item to the inventory based on whatever you place in here. I'm going to drag off and say make as inventory slot, and the resource that we want from this is the data asset. So I'll uncheck everything and select data asset and connect the array element. Now, with that done, I'm going to add a branch here. And right now, if we test it, I can just drag this into the graph, by the way. After we call create equipment slots, off of the true pin, we can connect this. Right now, what will happen is we will create the equipment slots. So now we have an equipment size of, let's say, by default, I'll give it a value of 4. So we'll create 4 slots. And then it would enter into this function, check if this equipment array contains anything at all. If it doesn't, it will return false. But if it does, it will do a loop. And based on the data asset within this, it will add it to the inventory. Now, since these are equipments, it cannot have any quantity greater than, or maximum stack size greater than 1. So you don't need to worry about that. And then we'll return successful here. So after we return successful and the items were added to the inventory, we're going to create another function called equip item by data asset. Let's create this now. This requires an input of type sinventory slot. I'm going to rename this to be item to equip. And I'm going to head back to my create, actually this one, the equip desired starting items function. And I'm going to call this new function equip item by data asset. The item to equip will come from this sinventory slot. And with that done, we can call a return node to say we exit the function right here. Right, so within this function now, equip item by data asset, we'll need to, let me think a bit. Okay, so let's break the structure and get access to the index that we need. And let's get the inventory slots array. And let's get a reference to the index of the item that we need. So right now what's going to happen is, since we already equipped the item, then let's get that item that we just added, the index of it, and then get a data asset from it, do some condition checks, and then equip that item. And you can equip to your host sockets or your equip socket right away or whatever. And then lastly, we will set that item to our new equipment slot that we will be displaying on the screen. And we can apply those conditions now. So I'm going to break this reference structure. And the only thing I need from this is the data asset. The first condition here is to ensure that this data asset is valid. So if it was found, if it was not, then we can exit the function early by calling a return node and adding a value to the output of type Boolean. And I'm going to rename this to be return value. If it was found, then let's ensure that the item that we're trying to add has a maximum stack size of 1. So I'm going to drag off of the data asset and do max stack size. I want to ensure that this maximum stack size is equal to 1. And then let's ensure that this item is also an equipment based item. So I'm going to head over to my enums folder. I believe, yeah. Let's right click, blueprint class, enumeration, and I'll call this e_equipment type. Let's open it up. I'll add 5 entries. The first one is going to be none. The second one will be our primary weapon. Next will be our secondary. The third will be our consumable slot, and the fourth one will just be an additional utility slot. Let's open up the data asset, the primary data asset, and add the equipment type variable. Select your enum, hit compile and save. Now in the AC inventory again, from the data asset, let's get the equipment type and let's ensure that it is not equal to none. So if it's none, this means, well, it's not an equipment, it's just a regular item. But if it's not equal to none, it means that it's one of the other options like primary, secondary, whatever. I'll add a branch connected to your isValid pin And now we can call a function called equip item. Let's create this now. And this will be the actual class that we will be accessing. So let's say you have a class with a mesh of a sword, and you have like your collision component attached to it. This will be the class we'll be trying to access from this function. So for now, I'll add an input. I'll call this class to equip. And since we don't have that class right now, let's create it. So I'm going to head back to my content drawer within the actors folder. I'm going to right click and create a new groupling class of type actor. And I'm going to rename this to be BP equipment base. I'm going to head back to AC inventory and choose that class. I'll type class reference, by the way. And now we can close this and drag the function in. So for the class to equip, this needs to come from the data asset. So let's add that class here as well. This will be called equipment class. And I'm going to search for the equipment base. And I'm going to select class reference. So if the equipment class is none, then obviously it's not an equipable item. And if the equipment type is none, then the same. Back in here, from the data asset, I'm going to get the equipment. Let's get the equipment class. I'm going to drag this as the class to equip. I'll then highlight this function and add an output to it of type Boolean. And I'm going to call this return value. So after the item was equipped successfully, we can continue with the function. And lastly, all we need to do is set the item to the equipment slot. We can create that function now. Great. What we need here is an input of type as inventory slot. I'm going to call this item to set. And let's head back to our equip item by data asset function and drag in the set item to equipment slot function. The item to set will be the item to equip input. And then lastly, we can exit the function by calling the return node and setting it to true. Let's just add a print string. So if this condition fails, this either means that the maximum stack size is greater than 1, or we have an equipment type that is set to something other than none. The equipment type is none, sorry. So I'm going to add a print string. And then I can exit the function by calling our return node. I'm going to leave it as false. And for the print text, I'll just type cannot equip due to max stack size or equipment type. I'm going to give it a red color. And that's that. So we set up the create equipment slots function. We also set up the equip desired starting items function, and we head over to the equip item by data asset. This is already completed as well. So in the next episode, we're going to fill out the equip item function and the set item to equipment slot function. That's it for this one, guys. See you in the next one.